What a world we could be living in. Beautiful world we should be living in. Well, this is Tasha T. And right about now, I want to say enough respect going out to Lady SHARON. So keep it locked and don't touch that dial. Making this world a beautiful place. And we are here today on Let's Talk with Lady SHARON, and we are here with a special guest. I'm just so honored to have on the air with us is the playwright and actually I should say award-winning solo artist and writer of the internationally acclaimed Jamaica Farewell. We have with us Deborah Earhart.
Good morning.
How are you? It's great to have you.
I am, thank you. Very excited to come back to Toronto with my new play, Cocktales, Shame on Me.
Yes. And now, how long has the Cocktales, Shame on Me been running for now?
Over a year in the United States, and I actually just came back from a run in Florida, and just before that I was in Jamaica for 6 weeks. Had a great time.
I could imagine. Oh my gosh. And, so what can we expect from Cocktales and Shame on... Is it Cocktales, Shame on Me? What can we expect to... Just give us a little tease,
Well, you can expect to hear stories that we don't normally talk about in Jamaica, that our parents told us to sweep under the carpet and keep quiet about. And I feel like all my other plays have been leading up to this work, and I feel like it is important to bring these stories to light, get them all from under the carpet and bring them to light, because I feel like we need to educate our young girls especially, and I think it's important for us as women to not be afraid or uncomfortable with the truth.
And that's the operative, it's the truth. These stories are not just tales, they're tales of...
Right. These are true stories. These are all my true stories that, I was afraid to talk about years ago, but I have turned all these true stories of my life into a play. And because I just think, it's important. It's one of my boldest work, and it's about awareness and acceptance. It's about women abandoning shame and guilt and being comfortable in their own skin with their own desires. And every single person in the theater will be able to relate to at least one story in the play. It's done very tastefully, and it begins with the first time that I ever saw a penis, and it goes right through to sexual awakening.
No bars on hold. It's real. I love the twist. The play on the words, because I was like, initially when I was checking out, doing some research on you, I was like Cocktales, and I spelled it Cocktales. And I was like, oh, it's not. And something else came up. And then I said, oh, no. I went back and I looked, it's Cocktales. So this is this is something that it definitely is bold, I have to say, and something definitely needed to be discussed in our community, because we are a people that we are sexual beings, and there's so many things that have been misconstrued. There's been so many rules and religions and things that influence our decisions and suppress our feelings, And so I commend you on...
Graceful. I think it's graceful, okay? I've watched my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, nobody talks about sex in Jamaica, women, and anything to do with the body, they want to make you feel like it's shameful, And I think that's disgraceful, Men get to tell their coming-of-age stories. Why can't we? Cocktales, Shame on Me is about women being comfortable in their own skin with our own desires. It's about abandoning shame and guilt, and you're going to watch me up on that stage, get rid of all this shame and guilt.
Yeah,
that they try to put up on top of us. I don't think that women should keep quiet. There's certain things we shouldn't keep quiet about, and sexual abuse is one of them.
Yes.
And I am going to take you through my life and share the good, the bad, the funny, and the ugly.
Yes.
And by the end of it, you're going to watch me throw off all that shame and guilt that they like to pile upon your shoulders in Jamaica. And I'm not going to live with that. And I'm not going to have my girl child live with that and any other woman that I come in contact with. We don't need to go through life with this bag of shame and guilt on our shoulders.
Yeah.
We can get rid of it and enjoy a full, amazing, vibrant life.
I like that. Vibrant. That's the key thing. Vibrant life, not this oppressed life. And it's actually very confusing and complicated how we've really distorted sexuality, and people's, gender, they'll, put gender on so many things. Oh, you love sports, so sports is for boys. You love, fashion, so it's for girls, and all these gender roles, and then you see all this confusion, and really, I guess having that platform illustrated. Even you're having a panel, right, as well for the.
Right. After the play, there will be.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion after, and it'll be interesting to see what some of the, what people have to say. But I feel like, my play will make you remember things in your own life,
Absolutely.
and maybe you can confront them in a new, positive way. I feel like good art, is supposed to cause conversation,
Yes, and resolution.
I feel like, it's supposed to cause good conversation, and maybe there'll be changes that come about, because of this, but at least we can start conversation, because I am vocalizing things that, women are encouraged to keep quiet in Jamaica. Why?
And then we see the reflection of the rebellion too, because you're going to see the extremes, right? And there's no particular balance or connection to really understand, even like process. Like when you look at things like molestation and the not the villain, but the assailant approaching the victim, and the sometimes there's a time when a child is going through puberty and doesn't understand, why did I allow this to happen to me, or these things. It's like it needs to be spoken, because I've spoken to so many friends that I can't think. It's so unfortunate to say, but one too many people, and women in particular, have experienced sexual abuse. I can't even think of anybody who hasn't.
It's an epidemic. Sexual abuse is an epidemic in Jamaica, because people don't talk about it.
It's everywhere, though. It's truly everywhere.
They sweep it under the carpet, and then they want to try to make the victim feel worse.
Yeah,
it's disgraceful.
Yep.
And like the life is kind of over, and so much of that religious. I'm a Christian. I'm brought up in the church, and but you
the heathenizing
way to the other extreme. And we're not protecting our young girls, and I think it's disgraceful. We have a right. We're supposed to protect our children,
Yes.
And if we don't talk to them, and if we don't, if we're not there for them, and if they come and tell us something and we don't believe it, it's horrible. You wonder why so many women can't enjoy their lives with men, because of all the crap in their head. It's not right.
Yeah. And there's a lot, even I find that as I evolve as a woman, there's things that there's stereotypes that I live by, and I catch myself every now and again, where you might create roles or expectations that are really actually biased and not equitable, person to person. And these things are key in relationships, really, to know, how to interact with each other, and how to, yeah. This is deep.
I feel like my new play, this is the fourth play that I've written, the fourth play that has been produced. I feel like, it's more personal than anything that I've ever written, because I'm revealing the boldest things that I've never told, and things that I've been taught my whole life to leave under the carpet. And I just feel like too many women have left so much under the carpet, and they're not living their fullest lives, and so I want to bring them out, so that women can go, look, here I am, look at me up there, telling you the good, the bad, the fun, the ugly, and I'm fine, and I'm good, and I'm enjoying my life, and living it to the fullest. You can too. That's basically what I want to do, because men don't get to carry around this crap on their back. Why should we?
You see, and this is the thing, and then some men do. So that's the thing where I'm even learning that I can't even be biased and say men don't. Because we have to, like, at this point, as women,
I mean, I'm
as
talking
women, we
about,
truly got to focus on
generally
ourselves.
speaking,
Huh? Pardon?
it's, I mean, generally, it's sad because
Yeah.
we used to have to just, most of the time we worried about our little girls being molested. Now we have to worry about our little boys being molested as well by
And
these dark
yes.
predators,
And that comes with awareness, because it's something that's been happening all the time. It's just that we haven't, as you're saying, we haven't been talking about it. And I'm so excited. I'm going to just take a quick break because I'm looking forward to just actually talking a little bit more about your journey and like this masterpiece that has come about, that it's such a serious topic, but yet you have found comedy, laughter in this masterpiece that you've put together. You've been touring from last year here. So we're going to just take a quick break, okay, Deborah?
Okay.
And we're talking to Deborah from Cocktales. Shame on me. It's Lady Sharon, One Love.
Loving you is like a song I replay every 3 minutes and 30 seconds of every day.
I said roots, Reggae Hub. I said roots. Roots Reggae Hub. Hey, Roots Reggae Hub. Say we feel you. Roots Reggae Hub. I said Roots Reggae Hub. I said Roots Reggae Hub. Said we hear you. This is Oxbury. Come for tell you what go on. Enough niceness. Big up Lady Sharon.
And we're back here on Let's Talk with Lady Sharon, and we're here with Deborah Earhart from Cocktales. Shame on me, Deborah. We've been talking about, the play coming up and just the discussion of the topic of sexuality that has not really been brought to Jamaica, not even really brought in other parts of the Americas. Something that we really need to speak to. And you were talking about, that we're so used to heathenizing sexuality.
Yes.
Yes. And so now you were mentioning about your journey, not only your journey in life, but your journey even through your plays, that you've been able to just reach to a point of not like a masterpiece. We haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait till April 9th to see it here in Toronto.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's going to be coming in this Saturday and Sunday, April 8th and 9th, and at the Al Green Theatre at 750 Spadina Street in Toronto. And I do want to, invite everyone who's listening to come and see it. Don't be nervous, because a lot of people think that it's going to be, maybe raunchy. But, I am a Jamaican, and I am not raunchy. And the tale is a very tasteful tale.
Yes, I'm excited.
There are no words in there that are going to make you cringe in your seat. It's a very tasteful, honest tale that everyone will be able to relate to on some level, of a young girl exploring her first encounter with the male organ to the explosive boom of sexual awakening.
Yes.
Get that in there. The people are just tuning in, and all while dealing with a few unpleasant experiences, along the way. But I want you to be prepared to experience a whole range of emotions, but it's gonna, I know that the play will make everybody remember things in their own life, and maybe you can, confront and think about things in a new way, and that's what, life is all about. But the play is done with humor, and I don't think it's going to, leave a bad taste in anybody.
Well, from what we were discussing in the segment earlier, Deborah, is just that you were saying that it's about those things that we've swept under the carpet, and that even like to face them. I feel that people can find healing. It's going to make you go back home and maybe think, what have I not embraced or dealt with? And these things affect our self-esteem due to guilt and fear, the way that how we've handled sexuality over these years as women.
Yes, it has got to change. I've watched it in my family. Like I said, we women don't never talk about anything to do with the body. We're kind of ashamed of it. And it's not right. I don't see men feeling ashamed of their bodies. I don't see that happening. They get to tell their coming of age stories, and I want to let women know that it's okay for them, to own their own sexuality, and that, we don't need to keep quiet about molestation, or walk around with guilt and shame on our back for our entire life, and that can even destroy future relationships, because of things that have happened to us in the past. We cannot allow that to happen, and we cannot allow our young girls coming up to see that, and we've got to listen to them, and we've got to teach them. And if you don't talk about things, sex with our young girls, how, it's crazy to let them go out there. It's like going out into war without a gun, and you're sending them out on the front line without a weapon to take care of themselves,
And we can't fail.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I like that we can't fail to deal. We have to start to deal with the coming of age, the rites of passage into life, and this is things that it will allow us to evolve and mature as a people, as a community. When I'm hearing what you're saying, I'm trying to pull from the conversation earlier, and it's awesome to see that you've been able to take. It seems like a very psychological play. You know what I mean? It has this power of healing and honesty, candidness. This is.
Well, listen, if you you're not afraid of the truth, I want you to come out and say
Yes.
If you're not afraid.
I like
we
that.
should never, I said it before, we should never be afraid or uncomfortable with the truth.
Love
That's it.
This is
what
it.
we want to teach our young girls. And when I was down in Jamaica, I have to tell you, it was really sad. There are so many young girls, 12 and 13, pregnant. And the thing is, they don't even know how they got pregnant. They were molested, but they didn't even know that is how you make a baby. It's disgraceful that we cannot protect our young women,
What is going on? This is serious. This is really, really serious. This is a crisis. And I mean, for our listeners today, I want you guys to really, if you're in Toronto on April the 9th, this is something that you can't miss. I think this is a movement. It's much more than a play. It's something that is going to stir up things that will free you up, because I think you were saying earlier, just to be to be the woman that she needs to be, and just that's what I'm excited, like I'm stoked just to come out, and I loves me my plays. I have to have a play or 2 or 3 a year, and this is one that listeners you cannot miss. For our listeners, can you just tell them where they can find you on social media, on your website?
At cocktales.theplay.com. Cocktales.theplay.com is where you can get more information. And I'm going to be in Toronto on Saturday and Sunday at the Al Green Theatre downtown at 750 Spadina Avenue.
Okay, and now Cocktales. Now I'm gonna say it's Tales. It's Tales. It's Cocktales, and that's the stories. And you've done other plays. I just actually we didn't touch on that quickly, but you've done other plays. If you could just share with our listeners the other 4 plays that you've done.
Yes, the first play I did that was produced was called Mango Mango, and then I did Invisible Chairs, and then I did Jamaica Farewell, and Cocktales, Shame on Me, is my 4th play. All my stories are, 98% true, and they've been pulled from my, wonderful life in Jamaica.
Yes.
And my family, I think it's important for us to share our stories, because that is how, we learn and learn from each other. And most importantly, that no matter where you come from in the world, we're all basically and fundamentally the same.
Yes, absolutely. And you said earlier that we will be able to even have an opportunity to after the plays to be discussed with the panel about the play. There will be a panel, so that's something to look forward to as well. And again, on Saturday, April the 9th, if you're in Toronto, listeners, you know where to be. And one more time for our listeners, Deborah Earhart, if you could just share your website.
Saturday and Sunday at the Al Green Theatre at 750 Spadina Avenue, downtown Toronto. And you can get information at Cocktales, COCKTALES, theplay.com.
This is Lady Sharon signing out on Let's Talk with Lady Sharon. One love for Roots Reggae Hub.
Let's big up Lady SHARON and Roots Reggae Hub. Yes, massive, this is Oxperry saying, let's big up the Lady Queen, Lady SHARON, saying.
And I'm really looking forward to coming in on this weekend. And I am on Facebook and Twitter, and I have a website, cocktales.theplay.com, and you can find me on Facebook, Deborah Earhart. And looking forward to coming this weekend, April 8th and 9th, to the Al Green Theater at 750 Spadina Avenue in downtown Toronto. And really excited about the panel afterwards. We can have a nice talk back, and looking forward to that. See you this weekend.
One love, one love.
I need an extra side of you, 'cause just one serving ain't enough. So I will take my time with you, so you can fill me with your love. Yes, 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 this is Mel Dubé, and I need an extra side of Let's Talk with my homegirl, Lady SHARON. I need an extra side of you.
And we are back here on Let's Talk with Lady SHARON, and I have a special guest on the air with me, someone who's dear to me. It is the talented author, novelist, I guess, of romance and erotica, Kayla Perrin.
Hello, Sharon.
Yes, you're on my show, so it's Lady SHARON.
Lady SHARON. Okay.
Yeah.
We could go way back with our friendship. All right.
Yes.
Professional.
You're on the show. You're on the air. But anyways, I just finished having a conversation with Deborah Earhart. She's the playwright for the up-and-coming play coming to Toronto, Cocktales, Shame on Me. And we talked about the importance of understanding sexuality and coming of age, the good, the bad, the ugly, and really how do we feel and what's that process, And I want to you're an author of erotica, sex, romance. How important is it for us to have these candid discussions of sex and our actual experiences and not theories?
Well, I think it's very important to have these discussions. I think and especially for women, because I think
yes,
even up till now and including today, women are often shamed for their sexual behavior, unlike men.
Yes.
Men have always been excused if they have certain urges, if they, have multiple partners. Well, boys will be boys. Men are acting instinctively. They want to procreate. There's all this dialogue that justifies why a man may seek sex and enjoy sex, but we don't talk about why women, seek and enjoy sex, and there's almost a sense that we shouldn't. You should be the good girl. You should be the good girl who keeps your legs closed until marriage. I mean, maybe people don't go that far anymore, but there's still that sentiment that, you should be in a committed relationship. Casual sex, it happens all the time, we know, but if women are not as free to discuss that without possibly having people raise their eyes at them.
Yeah, stigmatize them. Yeah, this is it, the shaming. And one of the things, I feel you where it's concerned, where, you know me, because you're my girl, but you know me, if the sex isn't good, I am gone.
I'm just going to interject to say that one of the other issues we do need to discuss is that sometimes just because sex feels good does not mean you should stay in relationships. So these are the discussions that if we are even talking to your daughters to explain, a good relationship requires more than just good sex.
Absolutely, yes.
You can't stay only for that. I mean, there's a whole host of abuses and women putting themselves in bad situations just because, they believe that the sex should be at a certain level versus maybe what reality is. Okay,
I'm coming from a perspective though, to say that, I'm trying not to be ashamed of saying that, hey, if it ain't good, I'm gonna bounce. Just because he's a nice guy and Lily, you know what I mean? I'm a woman.
Don't say with the bad guy.
You know what I'm saying? Don't say with the bad guy. No.
Sometimes the bad guy is just
of course,
world, right?
That's a big problem though, right?
There's that element that makes it all the more exciting, appealing. I don't know what it is, but women I've talked to and friends have stayed in so many negative relationships, often because the sexual connection is really hot, and you convince yourself that connection means even an emotional connection that it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad you brought that up because even the addiction. Women don't talk about addiction, sexual addiction, and even the fact that, oh, I'm going to stay in this terrible relationship, and really what's holding me is the good damn sex. And a lot of times we get that misconstrued to say that, oh, well, we have a healthy sexual relationship, so, that's at least half the battle, but I'm not going to stay in a bad relationship either because it's, the goods are good, but and not to say that I never have, but it's like you sometimes don't know what's holding you, and sometimes it is
I think perhaps
it's the cocktail.
If you look at what you want for your daughters, maybe you can get more perspective.
Yes, absolutely.
It's harder to see it for yourself, but you think, would I want my daughter to go through this? And maybe your answer will be completely different.
Yes, exactly.
So that's possible. You have to take your best friend.
But it's about being honest about your characteristics. Like, so, because if I go, like, here we are, we're good friends, and it's like, if I'm playing that I haven't, you already know that I will bounce, right? But but it's very important. I can talk to you honestly about it, but it's very important that we talk honestly about it. And yeah, this is it's not a way of life to have, to say bounce from partner to partner, but at the same time, it's the stigma that comes with that with women, or and just because a woman dresses sexy, does she have to be treated or a certain way, a different way? You know what I mean?
Well, there's all of that, and I like to say that there's reality versus what philosophically should be okay. Like, philosophically, I should be able to go out wearing what I want and know I should have the right to not be groped, assaulted, looked at a certain way. But what's reality? We live in a society where people do not behave according to what is legally or morally right a lot of the time. So we have to be careful. You have to you have to have a mindset of being smart in the world we live in.
And the funny thing is, the operative too that you say there's the mindset, because our mindset has been altered due to things of from sexual assault, molestation. I said to a friend the other day that a lot of men in itself need to be conditioned on how to treat and respect and love and care towards a woman, because a lot of men unknowingly or culturally, I would say, have sexual assaulted women, and they have this culture, and literally, because it's across the board, it's the norm. Like, and it's like, wait a second, but no, this was sexual assault, right? And they're clueless,
Well, and again, because it's what they, what their male peers, possibly fathers, uncles, perpetuate as this is okay. And I think one of the really most alarming cases was the two of them. The one where the boys at the college, the girl was passed out and someone was bringing her into the building, and then when one realized she was out cold, then they started lifting up her skirt, started getting photos of her lower half naked, and then someone thought, hey, why don't we rape her? And,
wow.
And you have four different guys, and out of all four, instead of one or two saying, what are you talking about? Somehow all four men joined in, and they filmed it, so of course they were caught.
Yes.
Oh, these are just boys, they just mean this, and come on. And then the other one, the swimmer who raped the girl who was passed out behind a dumpster or whatever in California and got 3 months, and he's already out. So there's a whole culture of women deserve this because men are seen as we're here to serve their needs in so many ways is what the dialogue clearly is.
Yeah,
you can't really escape that.
And it's funny, these biases that are in these gender roles, they come up in these ways. I mean, even within myself, there will be things that I have that only men can do and what I expect of a man, and when in fact we're all people, and just with different functions, and we should be respecting them. We should not be, raping nobody and it's all right because, it's just a guy thing, and then, gang banging is like nothing. The culture of sexuality has really been, as we were discussing with Deborah Earhart, the writer of the playwright, Cocktales. My apologies. Yes. The culture has really changed, and it's because of these discussions that we haven't been having that we are now having now, because it was a lot of these issues were kept hush. There's a lot of painful issues, I even to say them, generalize them, I'm afraid to generalize these painful issues in fear of offending listeners that are related to me or that I personally know. You know what I mean? Right? Because we're still afraid to speak. And I'm glad that we're starting to have these discussions. Maybe not as, they say any revolution won't be televised, so, and maybe not radiovised, so to put it. But we we definitely have to continue to keep up this discussions. And I wanted to know from you, Miss Kayla. Okay, so, you know, as a novelist, in your of romance and erotica writing, you know, let me see here. Let me see how I would put this. Is it strictly sheer imagination, or is it like a combination of things when you're developing your most scandalous character? Like, where does this come from? Do you research? Do you observe people? Because, you know, even though it's fiction, most your books, I'm sure that you have to develop these characters that people could relate.
You want to hear me say that I have a secret den where I do my research? Is that it?
I don't know, or the alter ego. I don't. Maybe it's a hidden alter ego.
No. I mean, it's your life experience. It's seeing others' lives experience around you. It's. I mean, a lot of it is based on stuff that I've experienced. You can't write without putting your own experience, but there are other things you project. I like to listen to people. I listen to friends. I listen to all kinds of stuff, and I hear what other people have gone through. So some of my books have dealt with that. Certain things sexually that women have done to keep a man, only to lose the man. So I have, I think one of my first erotica book, Getting Even, has a couple scenarios where friends of mine told me of some stuff that they were ashamed to have done for a guy. One of them was engaged, and of course, once she finally agreed to do his, you know, whatever this, I won't get into it, whatever it was he wanted to do, he dumped her.
Oh, wow.
So she's left with this shame because it wasn't something she wanted for herself. It was something he wanted, and she felt, I should do this to keep my man happy, again, after a lot of begging. But in her core, she knew she shouldn't have. So, you know, if it's something you want to explore and your partner wants to explore and you're both happy and it's brought up and you feel you want to do it, that's one thing. But you should never do something that you're not interested in doing just because the other person wants to. You think it's love, you think it's this, and then she got brokenhearted. And there was another case like that. So I've put those stories in my books, often as a way, hopefully, for women who might be going through similar scenarios. If they read that, they can identify and see the fictional outcome, which in reality is a realistic outcome for a lot of people. Don't do it. Don't compromise yourself for anyone.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Kel, that's so powerful. I mean, I'm telling you, this is something where we often compromise too much, and it's just, you know, we have these stories, but we could definitely learn from one another, and we can learn from romance novels. And I'm definitely looking forward to coming on Saturday and Sunday, April 8th, April 9th, at the Al Green Theater. I mean, I hope you can definitely come out, Caleb, because...
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing play.
Yeah, Cocktales, Shame on Me, and... Yeah. This is something where there will be a panel as well, and
awesome.
Yeah, and again, it's just really unfolding those, really exposing those things that we've swept under the carpet. Like, and again, it's not easy to talk about. I never knew. I think, you know, I seem like a child, where, you know, you're talking about the birds and the bees for the first time, and I'm blushing and I'm embarrassed right now, as you know. And when in fact it's something that I feel that it gives us as women the rites of passage once we start to embrace our entirety, our body, our experiences. A lot of us haven't had a really, like, for me, for sure, I didn't have really the best coming of age, just being a teen mom. Right? I blatantly tell you, I did not know where I belonged. My siblings were like 8 and 9 years older than me. I really didn't know where I belonged. You know, I was clubbing at 13 years old and whatnot. And this is something where it's like, we have to talk about these things so we don't see an exhibit of teen pregnancies, so that we don't see, you know, as Deborah was talking about this, the sexual culture in Jamaica is just significantly changed. You know, it's not the way how it used to be, and how, you know, how can we go through this process of coming of age. So I want to see this. I hear this play is going to make you laugh, listeners, make you cry. So it's, you know, a lot of emotions that it's going to probably, you'll be embracing again. You could go Saturday, April 8th or 9th at the Al Green Theater, 750 Spadina Avenue. And let me just see here. I'm going to see if you want to find out more information. You can go to 404 Media Group or just check us up. Hit us up at Roots Reggae Hub. It's Lady Sharon. And I'm here with Kayla Perrin.
Hello.
All right. Great talking with you, girl, as always.
This was a great conversation.
Oh yeah, we got to continue it.
Yeah, it really should.
I'm feeling torn apart right now, but it's like there's so much more to talk about. But so let's talk about it on Saturday, April 8th and April 9th at the Al Green Theater. Cocktales and Shame on Me. One love.